I'll never forget the morning my world turned upside down. It was a Tuesday in March when my boss, Richard Matthews, called me into his corner office with that smug smile I'd grown to despise over the past 3 years. The mahogany desk gleamed between us as he slid a single sheet of paper across its polished surface. "Due to budget constraints," he said, not even bothering to look me in the eye, "we're implementing some necessary adjustments to your compensation package." My heart sank as I read the numbers. 50%. They were cutting my salary in half, from $60,000 down to $30,000. 3 years of 60-hour weeks, missed family dinners, and sacrificed weekends had apparently earned me this slap in the face. "This is temporary, of course," Richard continued, his tone as cold as the winter air outside. "Once the company recovers, we'll reassess." I knew it was a lie. I'd seen the quarterly reports he thought I hadn't noticed. The company wasn't struggling. They were posting record profits. This was about greed, pure and simple. They knew I had a mortgage, a sick mother, and bills that wouldn't wait for their fictional recovery. "I understand if you need time to consider your options," he said, that patronizing smile never leaving his face. Translation: they expected me to quit, probably hoping to replace me with someone younger and cheaper. But I didn't quit. Not that day. Instead, I walked back to my cubicle and did something Richard never expected. I opened my laptop and began documenting everything. Every client interaction, every successful campaign I'd orchestrated, every innovative strategy that had brought millions to the company. You see, what Richard didn't realize was that I had been the backbone of their marketing department for 3 years. That evening, I made a phone call that would change everything. David Chen, the CEO of our biggest competitor, had tried to recruit me twice before. I'd turned him down out of loyalty to my current company, a loyalty that had just been repaid with betrayal. "I'm interested in that conversation we never finished," I told David over dinner that Friday. His eyes lit up as I explained my situation. Not only did he offer me a position at double my original salary, but he presented something even more valuable: the opportunity to bring my entire client portfolio with me. The beauty of my situation was elegantly simple. Every major client I'd worked with had personal contracts with me, not the company. My non-compete clause only prevented me from working directly for competitors. It said nothing about clients choosing to follow me voluntarily. I spent the next month carefully transitioning. Each client meeting became a casual mention of my upcoming career change. I never actively poached. I simply let them know where I'd be and that I'd love to continue our successful partnerships. The results were spectacular. Within 6 weeks, I had convinced 8 of our 10 major clients to move their accounts. These weren't small fish. We're talking about contracts worth over $2 million annually. The morning I submitted my resignation, I walked into Richard's office with the same confident stride he'd used to humiliate me months earlier. His face went from confusion to horror as he read my letter and the list of departing clients attached to it. "You can't do this," he stammered, his usual composure cracking like ice in spring. "The non-compete doesn't apply," I interrupted smoothly. "I checked with legal. The clients chose to leave voluntarily. I never solicited them directly." The color drained from his face as the implications hit him. Without those accounts, his department would be operating at a massive loss. The very budget constraints he'd fabricated to justify cutting my pay were about to become very real. "We can negotiate," he said desperately. "Full salary restoration, bonuses, whatever you want." I stood up, straightening my tie with deliberate slowness. "I'm afraid that offer expired the moment you decided I was worth half of what you were paying me." As I walked out, I could hear him frantically dialing phone numbers, probably trying to reach the clients who had already made their decisions. 3 months later, I heard through industry contacts that Richard had been let go. The department never recovered from the exodus, and the company eventually sold their marketing division to, you guessed it, David Chen's firm. Meanwhile, I was thriving in my new position, earning more money than I'd ever imagined while working with the same clients who had trusted me enough to make the jump. The best part? David had given me a signing bonus equal to exactly what Richard's company had stolen from me with their pay cut. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even. It's getting ahead while watching your former oppressor realize they've played themselves out of the game entirely.